It's 140 days till the man burns, and today we're going to be talking about costumes and fashion and faux pas and no-nos and just, kind of how to stay comfy and look fabulous. You might think, how can there possibly be any fashion faux pas at Burning Man when you can turn up dressed like this and no one's going to bat an eye? But there is. So there's certain things you should just avoid altogether. There's certain things that are just kind of considered a faux pas, and there's some things that are just really inconvenient. Oh, and some things that are considered cultural appropriation that the people from those cultures have specifically asked that people not wear that at Burning Man. So let's get into it. First up, glitter. I mean, glitter is a no, especially, glitter that you apply to your body because it's really, really small and it's just going to turn into moop. It's practically impossible to make glitter stay where you stick it. It's going to end up on the ground, it's going to blow away, and it's impossible to find. There is apparently some kind of glitter that is okay to use. I think it turns into sand or something after a time, but I don't know. I'm not a glitter expert, so I mean, do some research if you're that desperate to take some glitter with you. Feathers are a pretty touchy subject with Burning Man. They have been allowed back in for 2017, but with some kind of rules to it, like if your feathers are really, really well attached, there's no way they're going to be shedding or falling off, then those feathers are fine. But if you have something like a feather boa or something where the feathers are not super well attached and they're going to fall off, then those are not okay. There is some stuff like earrings that have like a feather on them or something where the feather isn't going to shed, it's not going to fall off, it's going to be fine. But just if you are planning to do something with feathers to build wings or whatever, then make sure those feathers are super well attached, or you might find that you are not allowed to bring them in. And if you're watching this in the future, check the rules on it because they have been banned in the past and they may be banned again in the future, especially if this year things don't go well with feathers and it just ends up being a bit of a moop fest. Sequins, again, they're very moopy. The chances are they are going to fall off. I know they look amazing, especially when everything's lit up and you're shining like a disco ball. But, they can be moopy. The chances are you will lose a few when they fall off, and it's your responsibility to keep an eye on that kind of stuff and make sure that your costumes aren't shedding everywhere. If something falls off you should be the one to pick it up. So if you are going to wear something with sequins on it, make sure you get something where the sequins are really, really secure and they're not going to fall off, and, keep an eye out for anything that does fall off. Beads suffer from the same problem as sequins. They're quite likely to turn into moop. They're quite easy to fall off, especially, if they're just stuck on by a string, then that string snaps and all your beads are gone. So if you are going to go for something with beads on it, try and get things with big beads so that at least if they fall, they're very easy for you to spot and find. Because those tiny, tiny ones, they're going to fall on the floor and they're going to be buried in 2 seconds and it's going to be impossible to find them again. Clothes with huge logos on them are considered a faux pas. You don't want to turn up with a huge Nike logo across your shirt. One of the principles is decommodification, and you're advertising a company on your chest if you're doing that. This isn't extreme. It's not like, if you wear your sunglasses and they've got a tiny little logo on the side that people are going to be like, no, you can't wear that. Same with your boots. Maybe they've got a small logo on them, but try and go for pieces that either have no visible logos on them or the logos are very small and in a place you're not really going to notice it. Fake lashes and nails are very moopy. They tend to fall off and you tend not to notice them until you're quite far away from wherever they fell. If you are going to wear them, make sure they are really, really well attached. They're very secure. Ask your friends to, keep an eye on you in case you're missing a lash or your lash is hanging off or something so that you can, take it off and put it in your bag or stick it back down. I would suggest, for nails, get them done professionally before you go because those are going to last you the week, and it also means your nails aren't going to get so damaged from being at Burning Man because it kind of wreaks havoc on your nails. For lashes, you can get eyelash extensions as well, and, they're going to last you the week. You're just going to wake up with fabulous looking eyelashes. No worrying about glue or anything like that. Likewise with fake piercings, I know septum piercings are very popular right now and many people can't or don't want to commit to having a hole shoved through their face. But the fake ones, they're not really secured in any way where it's 100% for sure going to stay where it's supposed to be. There is a chance it's going to fall off and that you might not notice. So it's best to either just avoid it completely, or if you absolutely really, really want to wear it, then, you know, make sure that you get one that is quite secure, one that you're going to notice if it falls off. And again, ask any friends that you're with to keep an eye on it and make sure it's still in your face where it should be. If you've looked at any pictures of Burning Man fashion, you have probably seen plenty of catsuits and onesies, and they are great. You know, I have a onesie for nighttime adventures, but they can be very uncomfortable. They can be very awkward, especially using portaloos and things in them, because, you know, it's like trying to get out of a straitjacket inside a box where the walls might be covered in poo. It's not the best. It's not the most enjoyable. If you are going to wear one, just try and make sure that it's comfortable. You know, I wouldn't go for like polyester or leather or something where it's going to be really hard to get in and out of, or just very, very uncomfortable to wear. With onesies, try not to get anything that's like really fluffy where that fluff is going to be beading up or falling off or anything, because otherwise it's just turning into moop. Flip-flops and sandals are great for when you're just like hanging around camp, or you just want to do a small mission, you know, portaloos, go and get some ice or something. But they're definitely not everyday wear. You will want some like nice big sturdy boots, preferably something that comes above your ankles so that you don't get like tagged by some rebar, because, you know, you might need a tetanus shot if you do, and no one wants that at Burning Man. So even if you see some really cute sandals that you think like, these will be perfect, they'll go with my outfit, you know that you're probably not going to end up wearing them very much. Because chances are you'll end up getting player foot, and then your feet are just going to be painful, and you'll really wish that you'd worn something like closed toes that would protect your feet from, you know, chemical burns, basically, because that's what player foot is, chemical burns on your feet. High heels are great. High heels can make any outfit look more put together, but it's incredibly uncomfortable. It's really not the kind of terrain that you want to be trying to walk in high heels on. If you are going to go for high heels, try and get something with a thicker heel. You know, don't go for like a skinny stiletto, because chances are you're going to roll your ankle, that stiletto is going to snap, or just bad things will happen. Like with the flip-flops and sandals, you know, chances are you might wear them with that outfit one time and then realise how uncomfortable it is being in high heels at Burning Man, and they'll just be in the back of your tent. And you'll be like, hey, pass me my big chunky boots that are going to help me survive. I'd avoid any body shaping stuff as well, you know, like Spanx and things like that. Like even wearing Spanx on a regular day, it's not comfortable. They're really tight. The material is not breathable, so you're just like sweaty and nasty, and it feels like getting a super tight hug, but not in a good way. I would avoid that stuff at Burning Man. You really want to be comfortable. Like, you can still have an amazing outfit and be comfortable, and things like Spanx or body shapers, they're just going to be a nightmare. It's going to be really hard to like have fun and do all the stuff you want to do if you're wearing clothes that are really like restrictive. Regular normal clothes that you would wear, you know, any day of the week are kind of considered a faux pas. A lot of people that have kind of done both things, you know, had fabulous costumes and had regular day-to-day clothes, have talked about kind of how different an experience it is when you're out in Burning Man in your regular clothes compared to being out in a costume. It's because there are, you know, tourists that turn up for a couple of days and they tend to wear regular clothes. They don't really participate. They're just kind of spectators, and it's given it a bit of a bad reputation. So people mistake people that are wearing regular clothes as being like spectators instead of participants in the community. I'm not saying that you have to dress up in fantastic costumes or that you shouldn't wear your regular clothes, because for a lot of people that's going to be what is most comfortable, you know, wearing your regular comfy clothes that you would wear, you know, to the beach or on a hike. But just be aware that some people haven't had great experiences in regular clothes. It is quite easy to dress up your regular pieces as well, just with like accessories and things like that. For cultural appropriation, Native American communities have asked that people don't wear war bonnets at Burning Man. They're not something, you know, to be partied in. They're a part of their culture. It's very significant to them and it has a lot of meaning. You know, you get your war bonnet based on, you know, the fights you've had, the battles and things like that. So it's a very sacred thing. And there are Native Americans that attend Burning Man and have said, you know, it's really not a nice thing for us to see. It's very difficult to kind of feel included when it feels like someone is mocking your culture or using your culture in a way as like a costume and stuff. There's many ways that you can use feathers to create amazing outfits and amazing headpieces without taking it from that culture. You know, check out like Mardi Gras and things like that, where they make these beautiful like feather things. I know that many people are sensitive about cultural appropriation. You only have to look at places where it is discussed and see everyone kicking off in the comments. But I also know that many people are not aware of cultural appropriation. They don't know that the thing they're going to do, the thing they're planning to wear, is going to offend someone or hurt someone or upset someone. And Native Americans have spoken out and said, you know, it is upsetting for us, it is hurtful. So I think it's, you know, respectful to not do that. There's many other costumes you can wear without wearing a war bonnet. I will do a whole separate video on makeup and body paint and my tips for that. But, you know, anything that you're planning to use, I would suggest testing it out first. You know, make sure your body paint isn't going to crack or sweat off, because that would leave moop. And avoid anything like stick on like rhinestones, things like that. Chances are you're going to lose a few and then you'll be hunting for them in the dust. I just want to say, even though this video is about, you know, fashion no-nos or fashion faux pas and stuff, you can wear whatever you want. If you want to come in Spanx and a catsuit and high heels, like, you rock that look. I'm sure you're going to look amazing. This is just kind of tips for how to be more comfortable and to make sure that none of your costume is turning into moop. So I hope this was helpful, and if any of you have any other like suggestions or tips for how to make the best costumes but them not turning into moop or just being a nightmare to wear, let us all know in the comments section below. And as always, if you see me roaming around Burning Man this year, then feel free to come and say hi. I probably won't be dressed like this. Or maybe I will. Who knows?